Welcome back, Legendary Potato here to another episode on the Universal Minecraft Editor server creation. And in the last episode what we ended up doing is we ended up creating a custom kit chest. And so if you were to place that chest down, we would be able to get custom loot that we put inside of it. So we put in the custom loot of a sword, some leather armor, and some apples. And so this was a pretty cool thing that we had created, so that basically every single time we put down this chest, we would basically be able to get this loot in here. And so it'd be cool for a kit PvP or any sort of thing we want to do with our server. If we want to have kits or ranks, then this is a very helpful mod. So what I want to do in today's episode is create a villager, which is going to trade a bunch of stuff that we will need for the server. So if it needed to trade something like currency, kits, anything, armor, whatever I needed to trade, I want this villager to be right at spawn, something that players can access and trades currency. So let's go ahead and get ourselves a villager spawn egg, and we'll go ahead right into Universal Minecraft Editor and we can get started with the editing. So I'm going to place my villager right here, and I'll just stand right on top of it. That way the coordinates are synced up, very easy to find it later on. So we'll place it in right there, and we'll, whoa, alright, looks like he's in there. So we'll go ahead and we'll load up on Universal Minecraft Editor. Okay, now that we're on Universal Minecraft Editor, let's go ahead and locate our villager, which for some reason is actually in a different chunk than I am. So yeah, whatever reason that is, let's go ahead and locate our villager, and then we'll go ahead and do our villager trades. We'll come down to villager trades right here. We can also modify the profession if we want to. Let's say I want mine to be a librarian, white coat. So now this villager should be a librarian, as you can see right there. So now let's go ahead and modify the trades right here. So all of these are just default villager ones for the farmer. So what I'm just going to go ahead and do is just delete these or replace them, whichever one I choose. But I do want to get rid of those there. So now I can go ahead and replace this one. So for my server, I want to use something different than emeralds. So let's just go ahead and immediately start replacing the emeralds here. For this example, I'll just use paper. Paper will be the currency on my server. Just as long as I keep it away from other players, then it won't be too much of an issue. And so now we'll just go ahead and make the count. Let's say I want the player to spend 10 paper on whatever this could possibly be. So we'll say there that is that. So when we have the paper in, we put in 7 paper, and we'll also set this to maximum value. That way you can never run out of trades here. So we'll put in 10 paper, and in return, what we'll get is some sort of weapon. So let's go ahead and do a wooden sword here. So we'll do each of the weapons here. So we'll go down the list of each sword, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so now my villager trades each of the swords here. So 10 for this, 15, 20, and 25. You get the idea here, trades one sword. So you can get the paper and get the thing. So whatever you do, of course, you can now trade with that. And I'm going to just disable rewarding XP for these because I don't want the player to gain experience from it. You know, I really don't want that. And also set the maximum value for each of these, and now we're all set. Now let's say I disable that, and now I want this last trade to be a kit. So let's say I try and put in my kit from before. So we'll put in paper again, and what we're going to do is set it up so that when we put in 64 paper, we'll be able to get an entire kit out of this. And so I'm going to leave this as stone, set the max uses to the maximum value, disable XP, and let's go ahead and modify that. I'm going to go inside the villager here, go to his offers, recipes, and right here are the trades I just created. So basically he sells the sword for the paper. And so what I can do here is I can modify the stone. So it's basically on this sell tag. And so what I can do is change the sell tag so it sells something completely different here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to replace this stone here. I'm going to replace the sell tag, and I'm going to replace it with the kit that I got from before. So this kit right here, I'm going to copy it, which I can just do with that or Control C, and then I'm going to go back over to the villager here. I'm going to delete this stone, and then I'm going to put in the chest right there. And so now we have a chest right there, but we need to make it so it sells. So I'm just going to type in sell, all lowercase, and now it has the buy and the sell. So now it's going to sell this chest just like normal. One thing though is I am going to remove the slot right there, and so now it will sell that normally just fine. There won't be any sort of weird slot thing, and everything else should be just fine. So now we have a very basic kit PvP villager. Let's go ahead and save it and see what it looks like in the world. Okay, so now that we're back on the world, let's go ahead and check out our villager. So first of all, I guess the first problem here is that he's still walking around. So one thing that we need to do is put on no AI, and so that will keep the villager from walking around. And second thing, the trades, it looks like there's 4 swords that come out of that, but he does trade the stone, the iron, the diamond, and the kit as expected. So let's go ahead and put some paper in our inventory and take a look at this. Okay, so it looks like everything trades as expected, so I can just kind of go crazy with this. Perfect. So everything seems to be working there. We'll just go ahead and change it so that he has no AI, can't walk around, and this guy will be perfect. Alright, so let's come back over to this villager, and what we're just going to do really quickly is we are just going to modify his properties. So we get a bunch of really easy, simple things we can do here. So we'll disable can pick up loot, and we'll do no AI, and we will do ignore gravity, and so that should help out just fine. We'll make him silent as well, because villagers are kind of annoying, and vulnerable so that players can't kill him, and never despawn, which I think villagers already have that by default, so that won't really change that. But now we should be all set. I'm going to just check that, and now everything should be okay with our villager, and we can just go ahead and double check that everything is good right there. And so if I wanted to change anything else, let's say I wanted to do kit shop. So right there, we'll just type in kit shop into that, name visible, so now his name will appear just normally. And if there's anything else that I want to do, then I can easily do that, but it looks like everything is the way I want it. Okay, so now that we're back on the world again, let's go ahead and check it out. So the villager is now standing completely still. The trades are now fixed to my liking, so that's perfect. So now if I were to break the blocks underneath him or try and attack this guy, he won't ever die, he won't move, everything seems perfect there. So I could like try and use TNT, but nothing's going to happen to this dude no matter what I try and do. Oh, TNT explodes off anyway. So basically he is the perfect shop. He also has the custom name right there, so kit shop. So if I wanted to trade any of this, it's perfect, and I could just make him invisible and like do a little sign trick, but I'd rather just have the villager there. I think that's a little bit better and cleaner. So yeah, I'm pretty happy about this kit shop right here. So now we have a working kit shop in our server, and yeah, so there are still many things we have to add to this server, of course. These are just some of the basic things. We're going to get into some more cool stuff in future episodes. But if you guys did enjoy today's episode, of course, make sure you do leave a like and subscribe if you guys are new to the channel. And if you guys want to see more videos just like this one, make sure you subscribe with notifications turned on so you don't miss that next episode. But with that said, I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good one, guys, and peace